I don't even know these words. I can't even say this. Isn't this what happens when you speak English? I'm sure many of you have faced similar challenges. But have used simple but unnatural English and moved on. It's okay to use unnatural English. That may not sound like a native speaker's, but can still be understood, especially if we're using English as a tool. Most of the time, our conversations are about explaining things. But we don't know all the words, right? So what do? We have to practice a little. The English text written here may be easier to read, because it is what you already know and understand. And you'll grasp the sense of how to use English through the explanations of the words and phrases. This is an attempt to do so. Reading practice. For speaking. Read silently or aloud, as if you were telling it to someone else. Audio will be without repetition, with a brief pause between each chunk or sentence.
Thaw and defrost. Thaw. Imagine a frozen river slowly melting in the spring. The ice melts naturally like snow melt as the temperature rises. Natural process, temperature rising gradually. Defrost. Imagine taking food out of the freezer and quickly warming it up in the microwave or with hot water. The temperature is raised artificially and quickly to unfreeze the food. Thaw and defrost both refer to the process of turning something from a frozen or icy state to a liquid or unfrozen state. Thaw means to gradually warm something that is frozen or chilled until it reaches a point where it is no longer frozen. For example, if you have a frozen piece of meat, you can thaw it by leaving it at room temperature or placing it in the refrigerator until it becomes soft and unfrozen. Defrost, on the other hand, is a quicker process of removing ice or frost from something frozen. It typically involves using a specific method or appliance to speed up the thawing process. For example, you can defrost food by using a microwave or placing it in a bowl of warm water. In summary, thawing is a slower, natural process of unfreezing something while defrosting involves using a method or appliance to quickly remove ice or frost from something frozen. Thaw and defrost both refer to the process of turning something from a frozen or solid state to a liquid or unfrozen state. Thaw means to allow something frozen to become warmer and melt. Usually by leaving it at room temperature or applying gentle heat. For example, if you have a frozen piece of meat, you can thaw it by leaving it on the kitchen counter or placing it in the refrigerator until it becomes soft and unfrozen. Defrost, on the other hand, specifically refers to removing ice or frost from something that has become frozen, such as a freezer or a windshield. It involves using a method like turning off the freezer or using a defrost function to melt the ice or frost and return the surface to its normal state. In simple terms, thawing is the process of unfreezing something by allowing it to warm up, while defrosting is the act of removing ice or frost from a frozen surface. Thaw and defrost both refer to the process of turning something frozen into its normal unfrozen state. It's like when ice or frozen food becomes soft, and returns to its original form. When something thaws or is thawed, it means it is gradually warming up and becoming unfrozen. For example, if you have a frozen piece of meat, you can thaw it by leaving it at room temperature or placing it in the refrigerator until it becomes soft and ready to cook. Defrost is a similar term that is often used when talking about removing ice from surfaces, like car windows or a freezer. It means to remove the frozen ice or frost by using heat or a special setting. So both thaw and defrost mean to reverse the freezing process and bring something back to its normal unfrozen state.